little bit concerned about getting altitude sickness. All right, guys, here we are, Berthoud Pass, 11,300 feet, just south of Winter Park, Colorado. So plan tonight is we're gonna hike up those peaks behind me on the Continental Divide and set up camp on Mount Flora for the night. See how it goes. Let's get after it. So behind me across the highway, that's a pretty popular area for backcountry skiing. Been there a couple times myself. It's a lot of fun. But we're here August 1st, so not really in season right now. Believe it or not, I'm starting to feel a few raindrops coming down. Looked at the forecast just this morning and it was like 0%, maybe 5% chance of rain. So really hoping it just stays to a few drops and we could stay nice and dry tonight. And I'm gonna be so real with you guys. I'm out of shape. I just had a baby girl just over a year ago. And so I've been in the throes of being a parent to a little one. And I haven't done anything like this in a long time. So I am feeling it. But at the same time, man, I'm really stoked to be out here again. This has been a pretty easy trail so far. A little steep in spots, but very little route finding. No scrambling or anything, just nice easy hike. I believe it's a class 1 route all the way through today to Mount Flora, so suitable for anyone really. I believe we're looking at about where we'll be spending the night. A peak right over there. In Colorado, you can always tell when you're at about 12,000 feet elevation because that's when the trees stop growing. That's tree line. And right before that, you'll start to see a lot of tiny trees like this that just look like they're struggling to hang on. So that's where we are, about 12,000 feet. There is Colorado Mines Peak, right up there. If you look closely, there's 2 marmots. Another marmot up that way. Love those guys. They're kind of like mountain beavers. So that up there is a false summit. Got to learn not to get your hopes up too high when you're climbing a mountain because there's a lot of those. Here's a nice angle to show you what I was talking about earlier about the false summit. That's the false summit right there. And our trail, the Continental Divide Trail, continues along that ridge line over that way. So once we get to the top of this hill, we have to keep going a bit further. Pretty much the only thing this trip I'm a little bit concerned about is getting altitude sickness. I'm going to be camping tonight above 13,000 feet. And at that elevation, there's about 40% less oxygen available than there is at sea level. So I live at about 6,000 feet myself. So I've got a little bit of a head start, but ideally I would have spent last night camping around 10,000 feet or so, somewhere in the middle, to give my body a chance to acclimatize a bit. But as a new father, I'm just happy to get out when I can. If I start becoming concerned about it, I could always hike down and drive back home if I need to. Well, here we are, made it to the summit of Flora Peak, about 13,100 feet above sea level. And now we just need to find a place to set up camp. This is looking pretty homey to me. There are a couple of these rock shelters people set up here on the summit. Gives you a nice windbreak, some nice flat rock to lie on. I think that's as good as it's going to get up here. Having a little bit of this trail mix. It's a little treat for making it up here. And white chocolate in it's all melted. This stuff is so gooey. Most delicious. This will be my first time camping in my bivy. Picked it up for like 30 bucks on Marketplace a few weeks ago, and that's about as old as I am. But looked to be in really good shape, so got high hopes for it. Planning to use 2 sleeping pads set up. Got this foam one here just to kind of get the bivy off the ground. Got this inflatable pad as well that I'm going to put inside the bivy with me. So hoping to get some decent sleep here on the rocks tonight. There we go. Want to get that nice and firm so it doesn't get all floppy on me as the temperature drops tonight. Felt a little silly bringing this pillow up. Probably took up a quarter of my pack, but man, if it helps me sleep tonight, it'll be well worth it. Oh yeah. Oh, it's gonna do nicely. I'm just gonna stay here for a second. Those little rodents are called pikas, and there's a lot of them up here. Really hope they're not going to try to get into my food at any point, but I can tell they're interested, so I'll have to be vigilant. The sun is behind a cloud. It's breezy, and I'm not moving as much anymore, so man, it really got chilly fast. Well, now that camp is all set up, let me go ahead and give you guys the tour. Got this nice little lake down there, Ethel Lake. A couple more 13ers along the ridge line. That's Mount Eva and James Peak behind that one. And over here on this side of the mountain, we have Gray and Torrey's Peaks, that little saddle between them. Those are 2 14ers right next to each other, so it's a really popular hike to go and bang them out both in one day. And over there you have Mount Blue Sky, formerly Mount Evans. These guys are not scared at all. Adorable little guys, but last thing I need is for them to eat and shit all over my camp. So I think I already mentioned we are on the continental divide of North America up here. So everything that falls on the west side of the ridgeline over that way, all that water makes its way to the Pacific Ocean, and everything that falls over here on the east side of this ridge will flow over to the Atlantic. All right, y'all, I'm not messing around with dinner tonight. I hiked this entire 1 pound bag of tortilla chips up here. We hit up the Latin food section at Walmart. Got the good stuff. Some nice salsa verde, refried black beans. We got cotija cheese, avocados, and eggs. And if you haven't guessed where I'm going with all of this, we're making chilaquiles. Let's get after it. Well, I forgot to pack a knife, so we're gonna do our best to cut up the jalapeno and avocado with the spork. All right, here goes nothing. Wow, that's actually not that hard. No problem. I think this just goes to show that the spork is officially the most versatile utensil there is. I was hoping this would be a fried egg, but didn't quite work out that way. That's okay. Really hoping that this queso fresco is still good. It's been out of the fridge for about 6 hours now. Smells good. I'm gonna go for it. All right, y'all. I don't know about you guys, but it looks pretty freaking tasty to me. So let's dig in. Oh, that's awesome. Man. It is shaping up to be a beautiful sunset up here. So I'm gonna go ahead and set up a time lapse for y'all. Enjoy. There's the last little bit of daylight. Look at that, I found my knife. It is really starting to get chilly up here quick now that the sun's down. Pretty sure I've got enough clothes to stay warm, but as always, we'll see how it goes. Well, it's getting late, and I'm getting pretty tired, so I think I'm going to crawl into my bag for the night. I'll see you guys in the morning. Good morning. I slept okay. I got a few solid hours in there, but Man, this sunrise is really something else. Let me show you guys. Y'all can judge me if you want to, but I'm finishing up my chilaquiles from last night. It is technically a breakfast dish, so. All right, y'all. Well, finished up breakfast and I'm all packed up here, so let's head down the mountain. So overall, I thought that went great. Um, Hike up was easier than I expected, especially since I haven't been super active lately. Um, Weather was beautiful. Stayed warm at night, and altitude sickness didn't really come in force either. I had a little bit of a headache, maybe tiny bit of shortness of breath, but almost imperceptible. So really couldn't have asked for better than that. Pretty sure that was a family of ptarmigans. Those guys even have feathers on their feet to help keep them warm through the cold winters up here. All right, guys, I'm back in the trees, which means I'm pretty close to getting back to my car. Had a lot of fun making this one. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I'm going to upload a new video like this every month or two as I'm able. So if that's something you're interested in, please hit subscribe. All right, take care, guys.